What's up, everybody? It's Pichael. Time for another NFL review, or preview, or both, for DraftKings, season-long fantasy, best ball, etc. So last year, the Colts went 7-9 when Andrew Luck retired out of nowhere. So going 7-9 was very impressive under those circumstances. I like the Colts this year. They have to play against the AFC North and NFC North. Not great for fantasy, but I don't think that I'm going to avoid these players for that reason. The over/under is 9. Yikes. Ugh. Man, I feel like the correct side is the under. I do like the Colts, but I feel like the right side is the under on that one. That's kind of surprising that it's 9. But I guess most people probably feel similar to how I do. They are plus 2,200 to win the Super Bowl, and the Texans are plus 5,000. Like, how does that make any sense? So I don't think I'm betting the Colts at plus 2,200. I'd need them closer to plus 3,000. Let's take a look at the player situation. So they lost Brian Hoyer. Nobody cares. They lost Eric Ebron. Hurts a little bit, but doesn't really matter that much. Devin Funchess has been overrated his entire career. Quincy Wilson, Deontay Burton, Deion Kane. Doesn't really matter. Roosevelt Nix doesn't matter. Phillip Rivers, so now they have Phillip Rivers instead of Jacoby Brissett. I think that's an upgrade, and the other benefit is that now that Jacoby Brissett has a year under his belt, if anything happens to Phillip Rivers, you're not going to be in a nightmare scenario. So Phillip Rivers, I think, is still a good quarterback and has decent weapons here, I think. Maybe overrated weapons, though. Xavier Rhodes coming over from the Vikings. He was not as good last year as he has been typically, but that was probably just an aberration. Xavier Grimble from the Steelers is okay, but he's not a life changer. Trey Burton is very interesting. TJ Carey, I feel like I hear that name a lot, but maybe it's for bad reasons. DeForest Buckner is a pretty okay player. But let's take a look at the depth chart. So Phillip Rivers, I think you can consider him for best ball, just assuming that he doesn't get hurt. But we shouldn't really expect Phillip Rivers to get hurt. Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack, Nyheim Hines, and even Jordan Wilkins. I think all of these players will be relevant at one point in the season or another. If there are any injuries, there's a ton of depth. So maybe Jordan Wilkins is the guy that you won't be able to get access to. But there were points last year where he looked pretty good. T.Y. Hilton is getting drafted way too low right now. I love T.Y. Hilton. He's great for best ball. He's a little bit more frustrating for season long because he's always an injury concern. But I am not going to stop drafting T.Y. Hilton where I've been getting him. Paris Campbell is interesting. He has high upside, but it's a little scary. Michael Pittman, I don't know anything about him. He's a rookie, but he's going to be drafted in most leagues because people who play Dynasty are going to get familiar with his name. Zach Pascal, I'm not too excited about that. Jack Doyle and Trey Burton, I think both of them kind of make sense. Maybe less in best ball, but I could see them both playing a decent amount. Trey Burton's pretty good. He just has been injured a lot. So I think overall, I like the Colts. I think that everyone is going to... They'll probably think that the Phillip Rivers upgrade is much larger than it really is. So I like the under. And I don't like their odds to win the Super Bowl at plus 2,200. I would wait until it gets higher. If it gets higher. It'll probably get higher. I'd look out for that. If it got to plus 3,000, plus maybe even closer to 4,000. I don't know. Not a huge fan of the Colts. I like a lot of the players. I think they'll be a pretty good team overall, but I don't know. That's a tough number. Tough number. Oh well, moving on.